The Tamil community is aiming to raise $3 million to create a chair in Tamil studies at the University of Toronto, Scarborough. This would be the first of its kind in Canada. Sivan Ilangko joins me now. He's the Vice President of the Canadian Tamil Congress and a Director of Tamil Chair, Inc. Welcome to the broadcast. Why is this so important to establish a chair at a university in Tamil studies?
Thank you for having me, first of all. There are over 7,000 languages in the world, and only 7 languages are considered classical languages. And Tamil is one of them, and most importantly, is the oldest living language. And the language is a very significant part of the Tamil identity, and people take a real pride in knowing that. So we wanted to preserve the language and pass it to the next generation and generation after. And it is so important when larger part of the community live outside of Sri Lanka and India and places like Canada. It is not used on a daily basis, although there are a lot of people working towards the advancement of the languages through various organizations, Tamil classes. It is also important to have a higher learning, it is in a higher learning institution so that to advance the research, it is very important.
How large is the Tamil community in Canada?
The Tamil community in Canada is the largest diaspora outside of India and Sri Lanka, and there are over 300,000 people in Canada, and most of them are in the GTA and the surrounding area.
A significant impact on the country, and this hasn't been done before. In Harvard, you said. At Harvard, there's one.
Yes, in the latter part of 2015, we initiated the chair at Harvard. Harvard gave us a timeline of about 3 years. We got it done in 2.5 years. That costed us about $6 million US. And what we learned was, as we were working towards that establishment of Harvard Tamil Chair, there was a global momentum, and people were sending money from various parts of the world. And there were a lot of events in Canada to create, raise funds, and in the United States, and from places like China, Hong Kong, and Malaysia, Singapore, India, and Tamil Nadu government gave about $1.5 million US as a donation towards the establishment of Harvard Tamil Chair. So we wanted to capitalize on that global momentum and to create one in Toronto, because we see Toronto as a hub for the future for the study and advancement of Tamil language, given there's a significant number of people living in GTA.
Many Canadians are familiar with language issues, with French Canadians attempting to protect their language. I appreciate this is a very different circumstance, but if you don't do something like this, is there concern that it won't be preserved? Or I mean, clearly it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest language in the world. But it's about more than preservation, I gather.
I think absolutely. It is advancement and doing research. The Tamil language and the literature has got so much of wealth of knowledge and information. We want to make sure there are continuous research on that. And also we want to share that with the rest of the community, the richness and the information that language can offer to the world.
How has fundraising gone so far, Sivan?
It is absolutely fantastic. We had the inaugural launch on June 25th at University of Toronto, Scarborough, in a nice location. We invited about 240 guests from the community, for academics, professional business owners, and on that day itself, and we raised about $700,000, both in donation and pledges. It was outstanding response from the community.
And you need to get to $3 million, is that right?
We need to get $3 million.
So that's a fairly big chunk. What's your timeline?
We have agreed with the university a 2-year timeline, and we hope to get it done within the time frame.
All right. Well, this is very interesting, especially we'll be watching for people at U of T and anybody who's traveling from across the country to come study. It will be an exciting time. We appreciate you being here. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.